the entry-level version of the Jaguar E-Pace compact SUV, almost. You can actually go one trim level lower on the car's equipment roster and, in theory, depart from your local dealer with a car costing less than £29,000 at list price, but Jaguar didn't have one of those for us to test. The car uses an Ingenium 2.0-liter turbodiesel engine closely related to those of Jaguar's more powerful oil burners, that produces 148 bhp and 280 pounds-foot of torque, and drives the car through a 6-speed manual gearbox and also exclusively through the front wheels. Only one other engine in the range can be combined with a manual gearbox, and no other misses out on four-wheel drive, so this really is the E-Pace at its simplest. And its lightest, which, in a car we've already criticized for a bit of excessive bulk, is worth noting. Stick with entry-level trim in your E-Pace and you might imagine you'll get a pretty pared-down equipment level, but you'd be surprised. The bottom-rung car does get manually adjusted fabric seats without heaters, but it has 17-in alloys, LED headlights, a 10-in touchscreen infotainment system with DAB radio, cruise control, a reversing camera and a fairly full tally of active safety systems. Moving up to an S is a 4,100 stretch, but gets you upgraded headlights, 18-in alloys, electric leather seats, heated mirrors and an infotainment upgrade including a better navigation setup, an in-car Wi-Fi hotspot and Jaguar's in-control smartphone apps. It may seem like a large premium for that little lot, but there should be plenty of demand for it considering the enhanced connectivity features. Welcome proof that cheaper and simpler is probably better for Jaguar's new small SUV. While this car remains heavier, even in this form, than the nearest equivalent F-Pace, it isn't troubled by quite the level of sporting aspiration with which many of its more expensive sibling derivatives wrestle. It feels like a car with less to prove as a result, and rides and handles with a likable roundedness and pragmatism that escapes the car in other forms. Reckoning without the car's 9-speed automatic gearbox is certainly no great loss for the E-Pace. As long as you don't object to changing ratios yourself, the car's 6-speed manual box is pleasant and easy enough to use, with a fairly substantial weight about it and enough notchiness in the action to make you shift deliberately, but also to tell you loud and clear as each ratio hits home. The ratios themselves seem usefully well spaced and the car's clutch is easily manageable. Settling for the relatively modest performance level of the D150, meanwhile, may bother you more in principle than it will from the driver's seat. There is certainly a touch of low-range hesitancy about this engine, which you probably fall victim to more often than you might in its more powerful states of tune simply by dint of changing gears yourself. But once it's revving beyond 2000 RPM it has a useful watt of torque, and whisks the E-Pace along with perfectly respectable strength. Motorway driving doesn't oblige you to do an unreasonable amount of shifting unless you're in a desperate hurry.